All right, welcome back to another installment of mistakes I made playing slow pitch softball last week and things I'll do differently next time. So hopefully you can learn from some of this stuff that I do. And I also like to make videos like this because, yeah, I'm teaching the game here and I played baseball at a high level, but I still screw up. And I sometimes when I'm editing videos and hitting off the batting tee and everyone's a line drive, yeah, I edit out a lot of the bad ones because like you don't want to be here all day watching me hit. But at the same time, I screw up the same as anyone. And I don't care. I own it. Like, I still want to do better, but let's get started. Number one, I was hitting and I popped one straight up and I watched it and it was a strange moment because like in my lizard brain, it was like, hey dude, that one's going to be fair. You should run. And then I just didn't run and it landed like right here and it was fair. And I was just standing at home plate and they threw to first and I was out. And I was like, yeah, I knew that was going to be fair. Like it could have spun foul. I kind of, part of me assumed it was going to spin foul, but after I started to watch it come down, I was like, no, that's definitely fair. And I just didn't run, I was out. And that was like a selfish thing that I did that wasn't meant to be selfish because I like running. It wasn't like I was being lazy. I just had a moment. I just didn't run. So not going to do that again. Anytime I hit one, even if it's probably foul, I'm going to hustle down there because like I care about, my team and not being a selfish player. So that was one thing. Number two, I constantly talk about, for baseball, fast pitch, and slow pitch, your mental checklist, which I really enjoy just going over this. And so if you're new here, anytime you're in the field at all, you should be going over, okay, 1 out, runners on first and third, runner on first looks overweight and is pretty slow, runner on third is very fast. So for me, when I'm in the outfield, I'm constantly gaming that out between every batter because it changes every batter. And I'm like, all right, if I get a fly ball right at me, I'm not going to have a play at the plate, with 1 out, runner on third. If I have to come in on it, I can definitely throw to the plate. If it's hit on the ground, I'm going to second and won't have a play at home, obviously. So I'm constantly just like rehearsing that in my head. And it makes a huge difference because one of those scenarios is going to happen sometime. Ball hit over your head, hit on the ground, whatever it is. So you constantly need to go through your mental checklist. So anyway, basically the only time I can remember recently that I didn't, I was playing right center. It was runner on first and a first and third, and a high pop-up was hitting to right center, and it was a long run. I couldn't catch it. Took a kind of weird hop. So when I picked it up, I actually wasn't facing the infield, and it just so happened that was the one play where I was kind of spacing out between pitches and forgot to go over my checklist. And when I picked it up, I couldn't see the runners, and I didn't know where to throw it. So it took me like another, quarter of a second to figure out, okay, the ball needs to go to third. And I made a decent throw, but it was like a hair too late. And I was like, come on, Dan. Like, if I had known, then it's like, all right, I'm booking after this fly ball. And if it lands, ball's going to third base. So I wouldn't have to think about it. I just grab it and I'm immediately thrown to third. But there was a hesitation because that was like the one play that I was kind of like the kid just like picking dandelions. And it just so happened that it kind of burned me. So it's always a reminder that the mental game, you can't take even one play off because sometimes stuff like that happens. And it can be a way worse scenario. Like this was a game that it didn't affect the game at all. Like we really hit well and we blew the team out. But still, like I knew that my hesitation cost us a base where I definitely would have had that runner if I had picked it up and made the throw. So just a reminder, you got to stay in the game, and every new batter, you got to go over your mental checklist. And the biggest thing this week for me was I've had a lot of swing thoughts in the winter. I've obviously, if you've watched my videos, been working on my swing, trying to flatten it out. And I like the challenge of like, okay, there's no one on base, so I should not try to hit a home run. I should try to swing down on it and try to hit a line drive because a home run, especially in a 2 home run limit league, which I play in one of those, we don't want a solo home run. So let me just try to get on base, hit a line drive. I also enjoy going opposite field or pulling it. I enjoy going with the pitch. So in my head, as I approach a lot of my at-bats, as soon as the pitch leaves the pitcher's hand, I'm thinking too much. I'm like, should I pull it? Should I go opposite field? Should I lift it? Or should I hit a line drive? And I'm giving myself all these conscious thoughts, which are really problematic, instead of figuring all that out before the at-bat and just saying, okay, see ball, put a good swing on it, which is the thing that I preach over and over and over in all my hitting videos. So at the end of the day, yeah, there are times where I do need to differentiate between trying to lift it or trying to not lift it. But I've just been too much in my head trying to make those distinctions. Okay, here's the pitch on the way. I should lift this one. I got to stop saying that. Or here's the pitch on the way. I got to try to get on top of it and hit that, cut swing line drive. I've got to stop doing that stuff. And so the second half of this week, after I've kind of like, internalized and realized this, I'm like, okay, I got to just get back to see the pitch and just let my brain do what it knows how to do and just hack. See the pitch, put a good hard swing on it. And that's what I did. I got so much better results the last 2 doubleheaders that I played because I stopped thinking and I just let myself do what I know how to do. I'm pretty good at getting the sweet spot, getting the barrel of the bat to the ball, except when I'm thinking too hard about exactly what I should do and sort of paralyzing myself. Lots of players go through that stuff where they're making swing adjustments and then they carry those swing adjustments onto the field. And sometimes it can take a while to realize like, oh yeah, there's actually too much clutter mentally and it's really impacting me. And so I'm a pretty good self-observer, and so I figured that out pretty quick, and it's already made a big difference just like getting back out of my head and not overthinking. Because the big thing, and this is what I talk all about with youth baseball and fast pitches, you practice, and then when you come in the game, it's got to be recital mindset. And I was bringing a practice mindset, thinking about the mechanics of my swing into the game, and you can't do that. It's got to be recital mindset. I practice my new flat swing, I practice lifting the ball in BP, but now when I go in a game, it's got to be on autopilot. I see the ball, I put a good swing on it, whatever that swing happens to look like. So that's my weekly report. Some of the things I screwed up, I had a lot of fun. I have amazing teammates. I really appreciate my teams. I've also met a bunch of new people who have seen my videos and come and said hello at games, which is really cool. It does add a little bit of pressure to me because I have to show up and be like, okay, that guy watches my videos. I should try to prove that I'm not a hack. It's a very real thing, even though this is just for fun. But yeah, I've had a great week, and I hope some of these chats about adjustments help you in your week to come.